started, but the Brits think they know some things about us that they might be mistaken about, some things they might be right about. But I think the Brits are trying to figure out why we're not run the way they are. But we're not legit men of letters. I mean, we're legacies, so I guess you could argue we're kind of men of letters, but we weren't initiated, we didn't study the things they studied, and they are much more regimented and structured and are trying to figure out if Sam and Dean are just lying and they actually do have ulterior motives, or if they really are just like, Sam and Dean don't really answer to anybody. They have a car and a bunker, and they kind of travel around staying in motel rooms. So they're not used to having higher powers to answer to. And so we're going to see worlds collide.
How do you feel your character's story arc will change this season?
I think for me, most of it is going to be about exploring Sam as a son, because we've seen him as a brother, but seeing Sam, who's been through so much and who wants to make the world a better place, but now I'll never wash. Scruffy. Getting to see him be a son and love his mother, want to protect his mother, but acknowledge that his mother, Sam lost his father, and he arguably lost his mother even though he didn't know it, but Mary's a hunter, and she was a hunter, and so I'm sure a lot of Mary is going to want to hunt and help, and she's back, and she's not just going to sit around and like, okay guys, I'll see you when you get back, so I'm sure she's going to want to be a part of it, but Sam's going to want to protect her because it's his mom. It's going to be an interesting. And meanwhile, Dean has a relationship with her as well, and so it's going to also change the Sam and Dean dynamic because it's now like, it's not that we have. Usually, it's been like we only have each other, right? And we've had Cass and we've had others, Bobby and Rufus, and want to help. But now we have Mom too, so we get to fight for each other and we get to fight for her and figure out how we can trust each other. There's kind of a feeling or a sensation that if you want to protect somebody, you have to kind of hide them away. But sometimes the best way to protect somebody is to let them do what they do. So we'll see Sam kind of struggling with that. Yeah. Yeah, we do. We're not the writers have done a good job of playing the reality of it, because if you died in 1982, then cell phones and Skype and internet and was, not even like Back to the Future didn't even come out yet. So it was like, I guess maybe they have cool shoes in the future. They had no idea what we were going to know now. And so we play that without getting too cheesy about it. Because there's sometimes with travel movies, there's like, what is this magic thing? So we're not making her stupid. We're just making her like she's in a new world, We're like, what is the blah, blah, blah? So hello? So I was kind of, what's funny is I thought about that before I read the scripts, going like, I hope they don't make it like, and they didn't. They kept it, she's a strong woman, She's a mother and she's a daughter and she was a hunter, so she's not completely oblivious. They did it in a really nice way. But there are some funny moments. That haven't been said, there's some comedic, fish out of water moments we have, for sure.
If they can bring back their mom, should they be bringing back Jeff?
Well, he's Walking Dead right now. Yeah, you know what? I love JDM, and I think the feeling's mutual. As far as I'm concerned, he can be in every scene I ever do for the rest of my life. That having been said, I think it disrupts the Sam and Dean dynamic, because so much of what made Sam and Dean was that that's all they had was each other, and they had to make it work with each other, come good, come bad. That's why, even though we've had all these characters we love, like the Charlies and the Bobbies and the Joes and the Ashes and the Rufuses and Castiel, obviously, it's tough to get a character that the boys have to rely on. It's nice to have help, but if Jeffrey Dean was back and he wasn't in every scene, it wouldn't make sense because he's our dad, right? And he's the one who taught us how to hunt, even though Mary was the original hunter. So I love him, and if they can find a way for him to come back and it doesn't change the story too much, but that'd be really hard and difficult, I suppose. I'd love to see him back, but I think he's doing all right.
What do you prefer to play, especially with a show like this? Comedy, drama, action?
I hate playing comedy. I hate it. I'd probably go with drama in a weird way, and it's always really, it's taxing, and you really try to put yourself in that moment, but at the end of the day, I feel like that's the stories that I like telling. Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Man.